Hello, this is Kathleen from oldworldfarmhouse.com, where I help you create a home full of European country charm on a serious budget. So today I thought I would share with you 5 small businesses and one not so small business that sells some really beautiful things that fit in really well with French country style and that are also quite reasonably priced for new stuff. So I love to thrift and get things for dirt cheap off Facebook Marketplace, but these are some online shops that have some really cool stuff that's new or maybe vintage, but the prices are really great. And I thought since Mother's Day is coming up here in the US in a couple weeks, this would be a perfect time to share these places that I love to look at and drool over all their merchandise. So without me talking anymore, let me just show you these 5 really cool small businesses online where you can get some beautiful French country items. Plus the one not so small business where you can also get some gorgeous, truly French country items. Let's go. This first store is right here in Kentucky. It's European Splendor, and they have the most wonderful little shop. And I went in there once with 3 of my small children, and it's one of those places where there's lots of delicate breakables, and they were so sweet, and they did not bat an eye as my children handled things, and I lunged to maybe right before they dropped it, and they were awesome. And they also have a great online store. Some of the things that I love on here are the Polish pottery. This stuff is beautiful. It looks like block printed fabric, but it's pottery. I would love anything, absolutely anything of theirs. And then they've got these awesome leather aprons from the Netherlands in all these different colors. I think these are so great. I love this weathered one. I love the half apron. They are so cool. I wonder what it's like to cook with a leather apron. I don't know, but I would love to have one of these. And then they've also they sell furniture, but they've got gorgeous linens from France as well. And they're actually on sale right now, and they've got this great bee one. They've got, which I have these bee tumblers. They sold them at Target years ago. I don't know if they still do, but they are great. They are so thick. They're absolutely perfect for everything. I can't say enough good things about this beautiful glassware. So that's European Splendor. And the next one I wanted to share with you is this store out in North Carolina called French Connections. You can see it's another adorable little shop. Obviously, I've never been there because it's way too far away, but they have a great little online selection too. My favorite things on here are their African baskets and bags and their French fabrics and table linens. They are great. They've got baskets from all of these different African countries. You can see Botswana, Swaziland, but my favorite are these Ghana ones because they're just so big and colorful. And I would just love to have one of these. They've got them in all different sizes. I love these large round market baskets. I could take it to the beach, like they say. I could see it as a great sewing or knitting basket. I love this blue one. It's so pretty. And then they've also got these gorgeous tablecloths and things from France. And the prices are really good. On the big Ghana baskets are like $45 and it's free shipping with over $60. And then some of their tablecloths and things, I think the prices are just amazing for the quality, and they're made in France. I love this red one. And this blue one, just gorgeous. I would love to have any of these. Absolutely beautiful. And then if you're looking for fabric, they've got great selections of fabric as well. It all runs fabrics. But they've got some beautiful toiles. And it's beautiful toiles on here. I am obsessed with them. Conte Majolie, she's a French blogger, and she has a shop. And I think what she does is she goes to flea markets or brocantes in France where she lives, and she picks up all of this great stuff and sells it in her online shop. And she ships to the US. She's got some really cool things in here. One of my favorites are these French market baskets that she sells. They come in all different sizes and shapes. There's the large one, 75, and smaller ones a little bit less. So I love those, and I think those are new. But then she also has all of this vintage stuff. Like look at these mirrors. So cool. Antique bronze Louis XV photo frame. This one, a vintage photo frame of a little French girl getting her first communion. How sweet. I wonder if she picked that up at a flea market. I suppose she must have. And then she also has this great selection of tableware, like transferware and stuff like that, and copper as well. So, for example, these beautiful dishes, just little random sets, and there's something so interesting about them. They're French ironstone. I hear a lot about ironstone, and I always thought of it as an English product, but I guess the French had them as well. Look at this beautiful platter. Oh my gosh. And then she also does a lot of copper. She has a ton of copper as well. Oh, look at this terrine. Oh, if somebody gave me this, I would just die. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Antique French terrine, white ironstone, and blue transfer from Sarreguemines, if I'm saying it right. Let's look at that. That is so cool. And then I'll show you the copper really quick. I think the prices on her copper are very reasonable too. Everything in her shop to me feels very reasonably priced, considering it's coming all the way from France and so on. But yeah, look at this set of 4 vintage copper roasting pans, $8.75. Oh, look at those. Wow, it says they've never been used. It says they're tin lined, which I don't know much about copper. My only copper pan is very modern, so I don't know if they still line things with tin or if that's safe. I suppose it's not lead, it's tin, so it should be fine, right? But look how beautiful that is, just for decorative purposes even. So I would highly recommend her French shop. It is a lot of fun, and she seems really sweet. She's this French blogger, and she writes in English, and her English isn't perfect, but that kind of just adds to the charm of it all. And like I said, her shop is just beautiful. Since this is the coolest little store, this guy has an amazing YouTube channel all about old-fashioned cooking, and then he has this store in Indiana, and they have some of the coolest things. And I know, strictly speaking, it's not maybe French, but it's that time period. It makes me think of that. Like, I am obsessed with this cotton chemise. I think this is just so sweet. It would be such a pretty thing to wear to bed. There's one in linen, one in cotton. There's one that has ruffles. To me, it's very, very like country or French country, and all of his things seem to be made in the US too, which I think is really cool. And so there's that chemise, and then he also sells these block print cotton bed covers that I think are made in India, but they make me think of something very French as well, because block printed fabric is something that was, you know, it is very French. It was made in France. It was brought over from India, and the French got really into it, and that's where all the toiles and things come from. But yeah, these are, like it says, the patterns we've selected are in the 18th century style. Use them as a bedspread. I mean, I would just love to have something like this to spread on my bed. How fun. Imported from India. Yeah, just like they would have been back in the day. It's so cool. And again, like really reasonably priced. A full-size one, $44 for this beautiful bedspread. So Townsend's is a really fun place to look for vintage items, reproductions. Block prints, which are so very French, because like I said, my understanding is there were Indian cotton fabric imports to the south of France, and the people in the south of France copied that and developed their own textile industry off of that. Well, you can go to Etsy, and there are some wonderful Indian makers of fabric. Like this store, Anikafabrics, they sell all these different beautiful block prints. And then if you're not feeling like sewing anything yourself, they also sell these cotton quilts, which I just think are gorgeous. Look at this Indian block print quilt. They're called Kantha quilts or something like that. This one says Razai. I don't understand what all the words mean, but I could just imagine this on, it's just so delicate and sweet, like in a girl's room. And they've got all these different colors. That's a pink one. This one looks really cool too. It's like red and green. And the shipping is kind of horrendous. When you go to put these in your cart, you're like, oh, the shipping bumps the price up. But the prices themselves are, you know, pretty reasonable. Oh, this one looks like it's reversible. How pretty. So yeah, for block print fabrics, Etsy and the Indian textile makers on Etsy there's a lot of them, and they have some really cool things. You really love the block print French fabrics. Souleyado is a company that made those block prints forever in the south of France, you know, going back I don't know how far, and they recently reopened. They were closed, I think, for years, and then I don't know if somebody bought the name or the company, but they just in the past couple years they've kind of reappeared, and they're selling their fabrics and things. I don't know the exact history. I just know for a while they weren't selling anything, but now they are. Look, you can see, oh look, there's Princess Diana, oh, with a Souleyado bag. But they sell clothing and textiles. So here under table art is where I think they have some really cool things. Also the Provencal Tablecloths. And then the Cirge de Provencal for Souleyado, those are really interesting too. If it ever loads, I'll show you. It's this wax factory. It's interesting. Okay, so table art, they've got, look at that, these beautiful napkins and quilted placemats. I love quilted placemats and tablecloths especially. But look at these, Beaumanier red napkin, La Fleur d'Arles, how gorgeous. And then let's go back, table art, Provencal tablecloths. Look at these. So these would be the real McCoy, and I believe they're manufacturing again at their place in France. In the 80s, I read a story about the family that owned Souleyado and all about their home and everything, and it was so interesting. Okay, so yeah, here we go. Square white tablecloth. I love this Beaumanier style. it's so French to me with the white and then the repeating floral that kind of is very orderly. Let's see what it says. Square white tablecloth. Yeah. It's just so beautiful. And then these wax figurines they're selling. Look at this. This is something really, really neat. And I don't know anything about this wax factory. I'm like, do they melt? Do you use them as candles? I can't imagine you use them as candles. And I wonder if it's a traditional, must be traditional. Ciergerie de Prémontré. So somewhere, so these are, you know, this is the Notre Dame. Beautiful Notre Dames. Look at these in the metallics, the minis, and I think it explains when you click on them the story behind this wax factory that's down there in the south of France somewhere. What a fun little gift though. Wax object, handmade in Tarascon. Yeah, made by the Ciergerie de Prémontré, certified as a living heritage company, master wax maker since 1858. I hope you enjoyed seeing these 6 online businesses where you can get some really cool French country items. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. I try to make 2 or 3 videos every week about European country style, specifically French country style, Swedish country style, and English country style. And I also love to do all things vintage and old house and thrifted. So if you like that kind of content, please like and subscribe and tap that bell for notifications. And let's get into this European country style thing together.